Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the box office this weekend. This might be Hollywood's last hurrah.
Yeah, because of the strikes and stuff.
Because of the strikes, they're saying that enjoy the Barbenheimer money, guys. You're probably not going to get much more after this.
Well, they're saying that, for summer, this is actually doing pretty well. Usually most of their money comes fall and into winter, and now they might not have that.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the Haunted Mansion did bomb this weekend, of course.
I don't think anybody's surprised by that.
But the surprise is the media turning on Disney. We got this covered saying Disney movies not bombing is now the exception, not the rule.
Well, they're not wrong.
And speaking of which, The Marvels is going to be dead on arrival. There's no way this movie is going to make bank. Nobody's interested in it.
The only way it might do okay, there is a possibility, and that's if all the other movies get delayed and pulled from theaters or moved, then they might have a chance. It's because there's nothing else, and I'm not kidding about that.
If we take out all the competition, the Marvels might make money by default.
That's basically what I'm saying, yes.
All right, so let's talk about all this stuff. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo.
Woohoo!
So let's start with the box office this weekend. Yeah, it's been really good for the last 2 weeks, and up until Barbie and Oppenheimer came out, everybody was like, oh my God, Hollywood's dead, the box office is dead, it's all dead, doom and gloom. And then they're like, hey, Barbie made like record-breaking money. And Oppenheimer too, I guess.
Yeah, I still don't get it about Barbie, but okay.
So they're like, yeah, I knew Barbie was going to make money. I did not expect it to make like that much money.
I knew it was going to be popular because Barbie's huge. Barbie's been huge for decades. What gets me is people go to see it, and then the word of mouth, people know what's going to be there, and they're still talking about how great it is. I just don't understand it. But I do want to point out its audience score for verified audience is only 1 point above Haunted Mansion, and they're all audience scores is several points below Haunted Mansion. Just point that out.
We'll talk about that. So this is coming from Deadline. Barbie, Oppenheimer, and Haunted Mansion fuel record final weekend in July with over 217 million. How long does this box office boom last?
They finally got people to come back to the theaters, and now they're going to not go back to the theaters. And it is a hard thing because a lot of people I think got used to not going. And like Haunted Mansion, in the comments, I was seeing a lot of people who were saying that, one, I don't want to give Disney money. Totally understand that. Understand that completely. But two, it was, I'll just wait for it to come out on video on demand or streaming. And I think that's the mentality. People are like, I'll just wait for it. I don't want to, it's too much of a hassle. I don't want to go spend the money or waste the time. I do want to see it, but I'll wait till I can see it in a couple months for like cheaper or on streaming. And I think that's a problem they're having now too. They did it to themselves.
Yeah. They said it's a very bittersweet moment. This is the best we've seen in the box office in post-COVID times. And exhibition is about to get smacked to the ground again. So they're saying that usually October, November, December are great. I mean, Disney moved the Star Wars movies to December. We always have like Lord of the Rings, but we always have like big movies, animated movies, and that's not really. They have Wish coming out, but that's like it, right? They said, should Dune Part 2 move out of November?
Actually, Dune Part 2 moved up a week to be a week ahead of or 2 weeks to be a week ahead of the Marvel. Shit.
Yeah, that one was.
Dune 2 jumped ahead to be a week ahead of the Marvels instead of a week after the Marvels.
Yeah, so that's interesting, and apparently the Marvels not going to play on any IMAX screens because
unless Dune pulls. So what's going on is during the IMAX investor call, the CEO told everybody that they have a big deal with Dune 2, that for 5 or 6 weeks it's going to be exclusive, or not exclusive on that channel, but they're going to carry it exclusive to other films in IMAX theaters. So the Marvels isn't going to be shown during that time. Well, the Marvels needs all the help it can get because I don't think there's much demand for this film, no matter what Disney tries to tell you, no matter what the shows on Twitter try to say, because we have Disney trying desperately to drum up interest. They're putting Ms. Marvel on ABC to try to get people interested. They're taking
killed her and brought her back in the comics to drum up interest.
Yeah, Secret Invasion, which the last episode I guess got 8% Rotten Tomatoes with only 12 reviews because nobody gave a fuck. Yeah, they're going to try to run that one on Hulu. A couple of the episodes on Hulu to try to drum interest in it because of Nick Fury. And now they're not even going to be in IMAX. And the only way that could change is if Dune would pull to next year, which they don't think they're going to.
I don't think they're going to either. A lot of people interested in Dune. I think Dune's going to be pretty big. I think it's going to be kind of like the Nolan Batman movies, where the first one did good, but not like gangbusters. But I think the second one's going to do gangbusters because a lot of people have seen the first one. They're like, oh, it's actually really good. So I think a lot of people are going to turn out for the second one, especially if it's an IMAX and you got sandworms. Spoilers, are sandworms in Dune. You've got sandworms and battles and all that stuff.
I think it would be. They said theaters or that these studios are pulling out movies and changing them to next year. If they aren't finished, I can understand why. But if they are finished, I think you're better off to leave them where they are, because you're going to have a big lull and you're going to pile movies on top of each other. And it's going to be like the pandemic where nothing's going to recover all over again. And they're like, well, because these celebrities can't promote it. Well, so what? Because let's be honest here, most people don't even care about the effing junkets. Most of the time, it's just articles spun about them talking about projects outside of this one that they're working on for the future. And no one really gives a shit. So I don't think you need those press junkets for people to show up.
No.
And I would argue that you're probably better to keep your movies on course if they are complete and you don't need to make any changes to them so you can run them. Because people are going to be like, well, you have less competition. You have a better chance of doing well. I think you're better just to stay the course with these films. I mean, unless you have a good reason not to.
Yeah, and they're saying that exhibitors are already bracing for this. They're already laying people off. Theaters are already laying people off.
These strikes, all it's doing is not only is these people not working, but it's causing a ripple effect down that's hurting pretty much everyone in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, and some people may get what they want, but at what cost? Overall, that's because you can't just like turn everything back on. We've had a couple months of disruption now, and it's just like the pandemic. It's going to take months for everything to get back to normal, to fire up. You can't just flip a switch. Okay, guys, now all these movies are going to come out. It's like, no, now you've pushed the movies back 6 months, a year.
They finally got it back on. They finally got it this year. You started getting it back, except for Disney. Disney's not having a good time at all.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about.
You start getting it back, and now it's gonna go down the shithole again. It's gonna take years to recover again.
Yeah. So congratulations. That's going to hurt everybody, but whatever. So we got this covered, pointed out that the Haunted Mansion bombed harder than people thought it was going to bomb, but it's also the new normal for Disney.
It pretty much is.
I mean, this year has not been great. I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did okay, but I never thought I would see a Marvel movie gets ass kicked. Multiple Marvel movies gets ass kicked by Barbie, of all things.
Yeah, I know, right?
And it's ridiculous. So this is, we got this covered. Disney's dire year at the box office continues with its latest $150 million flop bombing harder than expected. Disney movies not bombing is now the exception, not the rule. And they're talking about how pretty much everything is bombed this year. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Elemental, Indiana Jones 5, and The Little Mermaid. Oh my God, The Little Mermaid. Are you allowed to say that? Are you allowed to say The Little Mermaid was a flop?
Apparently you're allowed to now. Only certain sites are allowed to.
They all fell short of where they needed to be from a commercial perspective. And it's not a shock.
And the Haunted Mansion's not going to do well. I mean, we knew that before. I mean, I like the movie. I say people should watch it. If you want to wait till streaming, I totally get it, and that's fine too. But I'm not surprised. It didn't. No one expected it to do well. We didn't expect it to do well, even though it's better than we thought it was going to be. Yeah,
they're pointing out that it was poorly conceived the whole way around. They're like, why would you bring an obviously Halloween movie, bring it out in July?
I told you why I think. Well, a couple things. One, it was supposed to come out in November, which even made even less sense.
Yeah.
I'm telling you why. They're doing it because they're going to have all these Halloween merchandise tie-ins.
Yep.
And they're starting to release next month. For sure, because Lowe's is doing a bunch of Halloween stuff. I have several of the pieces already. Like they had inflatables that were Halloween, Haunted Mansion. I know for a fact Spirit Halloween is doing a bunch of Haunted Mansion stuff because I just covered the press release for it on piratesandprincesses.net. So they have a bunch of merchandise they want to sell for Halloween. So they put this movie out now so they can sell the merch. That's the tie-in merch before Halloween, so people have it. And then come Halloween time, it'll be like, oh, it's on video on demand or DVD. And then they're going to sell a shit ton of that because it's a Halloween movie.
Yeah, and they can take the loss.
Didn't Hocus Pocus come out in the summer too?
I believe it did.
Yes.
Then they sold the VHS tapes. I think the following year they brought it out. I remember on VHS.
Because it took a lot longer then. But now it's just like a couple months.
Yeah.
So it would probably be out that, people are going to be buying it up in October. That's why they did it. And they also wanted to move the Marvels back to November because, as these articles are saying, that summer notoriously doesn't do well. But November, December, those movies do well. So they put it there thinking it was going to do well. That's why they moved it. That or they needed more time to try to make it good because it sucked.
Well, that could be too.
To market the shit out of it because it's going to suck.
Yeah. So, look, Disney this year is not good for them. I think it's going to get a lot worse for a lot of the studios. I am really starting to wonder if those rumors about an Apple sale aren't going to come to pass because I don't see any other way out.
Yeah, but I'm concerned that they're talking about piecemealing the company. I mean, the parks and stuff might go someplace else, and that would not be a good thing.
That would not be a good thing.
The only thing I care about is the parks. And they're going to ruin those.
Yeah, I actually could live without more Disney movies. Just like stop making movies and just keep the theme parks good. Keep them clean. Keep them maintained.
Yes, they need to do that to keep them updated. Yeah. I have to laugh though because people were talking about, there are all these cuts and these studios are cutting things. And I put on Twitter and I stand by this 100%. If Disney wants to save money and save face, the best thing they can do is cut all these fucking live action remakes that nobody wants.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody wants these. And Snow White, every time these actresses open their damn mouths, it's like gets worse because now it's like, oh, well, fairest of them all doesn't mean pretty. It just means the most fair to be the best leader ever. And stuff. I'm like, you guys, you can't make this movie any more movies. At this point, why are you even calling it Snow White? Why? Why are you even calling it that? And people are going to be so pissed. And then you have the live action Moana, the live action Bambi, the live action Lilo and Stitch, the live action Hercules. The list goes on and on.
I forgot about that. They were actually going to do that, but they were going to make Hercules for the TikTok generation.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that I hope to God they cancel completely.
They need to cancel these live action remakes. I have been saying this forever. They do not do well. Little Mermaid, you're banking on, and then you have to put so much money into marketing. I would not be surprised if they didn't spend almost as much money on marketing as they did on the stupid movie itself, trying to make it stick. And it's still, and then because you spend all that money, it's not even going to break even. I mean, if it does, it's just barely. And nobody wants these movies. You need to stop. No one wants a live action Bambi. I'm sorry. They do not want a fucking live action Bambi. There's commas in there.
I was going to say, some people might. Some people are really into that. Like that Japanese guy with the...
we got the Japanese guy, this dog, and
dog
the
suit.
with the, you can F a bear, but come on.
Disney's going to one-up it. You can fuck Bambi.
They're going to do Brother Bear live action. It's a child and a bear.
And your brother.
And your brother.
Oh, my God. There we go.
Some people on Twitter would love it. Anyway, I'm just saying they need to end these because they're not making money. People are tired of it. I just think because it's too hard and too costly in their mind to actually spend time developing something new.
Yeah.
But when they do something new, they don't do it without an agenda attached to it. And then it fails because they try to shove something down people's throats. And then it fails. And then they're like, people don't want new stuff. No, they want new stuff that's good.
They're trying to shove a bear down your throat. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's their brother, too.
Rawr.
Can we wrap this up?
Yeah, we're wrapping this up. Please subscribe. Please subscribe for more quality content like this on Clownfish TV. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.